Some nights the power play isn't a strategy. It's a printing press. And tonight, the ink spills everywhere. Welcome back to the Blue 100. This is episode 6, Gary Sabourin. March 11th, 1970, Blues 9, North Stars 1. Today's idea, some nights the power play isn't a strategy. It's a printing press. And I'm documenting one game per player until I reach 100. Gary Bruce Sabourin, right wing, shoots right, 5'11", 180. Born December 3rd, 1943, Parry Sound, Ontario. He's one of those expansion-era guys who makes a career out of being reliably dangerous. Not a myth, not a mascot. Professional scorer who shows up in the hard minutes and still finds a way to put the puck on the net. In 1969-70, he plays 72 games and scores 28 goals, and 3 of them happened tonight. If you need a goal, he's not a prayer. He's a habit. March 11th, 1970, the Blues roll into Minnesota with a record of 32, 23, and 9. The North Stars are 12, 31, and 20. That record gap matters, but here's what really matters. Both teams are expansion babies, only a few years old, and one of them looks like it's already figured out its adult voice. Tonight's a reminder that expansion doesn't mean equal. Sometimes it means somebody learns faster. People hate blowouts because they feel like the sport broke. But blowouts are just the sport telling the truth out loud. Not a whisper, not a subtle clue, a full-on megaphone. This team has solutions, and that team has questions. If you're Minnesota, you're just trying to get to tomorrow with your dignity still attached. The first period starts like a warning. At 7:14, the Blues cash in on the power play. Red Berenson makes it 1-0. Then at 8:05, Terry Gray makes it 2-0. And here's the shape of the night. Penalties start stacking, and St. Louis turns them into money. At 14:49, power play goal. Gary Sabourin gets his first. 3-0. Little character beat. Also in this episode, Al Arbour racks up a misconduct and a minor. 12 penalty minutes on the night. That's not heated. I'm writing my own subplot. The 10-minute misconduct is the most old-school penalty in sports. It's not punishment. It's banishment. It's the ref saying, you, go sit with your thoughts. Second period is where it stops becoming a game and becomes a demonstration. At 11:58, Bill McCreary makes it 4-0. At 12:20, McCreary again, 5-0. And now the Sabourin sequence. At 15:47, Sabourin scores, 6-0. At 16:03, 16 seconds later, Sabourin again, 7-0. That's a hat trick with time left to spare, on the road, in somebody else's building. The most disrespectful kind of efficiency. Minnesota finally gets one back late. At the 1910 mark, Claude Leroux scores, 7-1. And it's weirdly important because it prevents the game from becoming a complete erasure. That goal is Minnesota saying, we were here. We existed. Imagine being Cesar Managgio in net. You show up to work and your job is 36 shots, 9 goals, no relief, no mercy. Just 60 minutes of getting asked questions you cannot possibly answer. Goalies don't lose games alone, but they feel them alone. Third period is basically St. Louis reading the fine print out loud. At 16:15, power play goal. Berenson again, 8-1. At 19:17, power play goal. Ron Anderson makes it 9-1. 4 power play goals in one night is not, we're good. That's, we found the weakness and stayed there. Even strength hockey is salary. Power play hockey is compound interest. You don't need it every night. But when you get it, the whole season gets easier. Let's drop the numbers like evidence. Final, Blues 9, North Stars 1. Gary Sabourin, 3 goals, 7 shots, 1 power play goal, plus 2. Blues shooting, 36 shots, 25% conversion. That's absurd. North Stars, 23 shots, 4.3%. Ernie Wakely, 22 saves on 23 shots, 9.57. Cesar Maniago, 27 saves on 36 shots, 750. And the headline, 4 power play goals for St. Louis. This isn't a close game that got away. This is a system doing exactly what it's built to do. And a right winger catching fire inside of it. Tonight isn't subtle. It's the sound of a power play turning into a weapon. And a scorer like Sabourin turning touches into goals. Not a miracle, just a day at the office. Next time, the Blue 100, Episode 7, Noel Picard. Defense, shoots right. 6'1", 185. Born December 25th, 1938 in Montreal. And the angle flips. Less finishing, more structure. From the guy who cashes the chances to the guy who decides what a chance even is. That's Blue 6, Gary Sabourin, March 11th, 1970. If you're enjoying this, subscribe and stick around. And I'll see you next time for Noel Picard. Stay kind and keep moving.